notes on my phone because I don't know how to do anything else. Okay. Thank you guys all for coming. I really appreciate it. Each one of you has impacted my life in one way or another. Why are you already crying? This is not gonna help me, Grace. Okay. But truthfully, all of you mean so much to me. So thank you so much for being here. So let's get started. This is Little Joy, okay? So it started off like I was chunky. That did continue for a while, unfortunately. But that's okay. So I was a weird kid, as my mom would phrase it. I was very sweet, but special, emphasis on the special. Let me just give you a few examples of some of the weird things I did. So one day we were driving on the way to our lake house. It's a very woody area in a forest. And I'm really little at the time, and I'm just admiring God's beauty, right? Looking at all the trees, and I kid you not, what comes out of my mouth is, all the trees are big. 2 seconds later, except for the small ones. And just everyone in the car just went dead silent, because they were like, what do we have in this family? I also, for some reason, like to sleep in boxes. That was a phase. We would take like shipping boxes, and I would just, curl up inside in there when we had a beautiful home with plenty of beds. I also loved to preach. I'd get my Bible out and like make a fake podium, and I would just preach to no one. Like no one would be there, and my mom would just walk down and be like, what are you doing? It was a good time. But honestly, I grew up with a great family. Went to a private school, Denver Christian, all the way to 6th grade. And then I transferred from Denver Christian, along with Sam Rosenhagen, to Cherry Hills Middle School and with Grace Bauer. And then, so that way I could kind of transition into Valor easier and have some friends on the way there. So moving into my freshman year, this is me, my first day of school. So like excited, I had no idea what kind of stress they were gonna put me through. But I was really excited to come to Valor because my brother had a great experience here, and so I was really pumped to go as well. Did do basketball for a year. That ended very quickly. Yeah, we're not gonna talk too much about that. Then I tried worship band, which is up there in the corner. That was my worship band team. I fell in love with worship band, not because like I was the best singer or anything, or so that was not true. But I just loved the idea of getting to like lead my fellow students and teachers to God in one way or another. And then I started track. I had never thrown ever in my life, but my brother threw with my coach that is here now, and he really encouraged me to try it out. So I did. I loved it. And coach told me from the beginning, like, you could really do this. And so I kept, and I continued. Sophomore year, is that the right brand, Mom? Sophomore year was a little bit rocky, so to say. Let's see. So my group of friends right back there will know what's up. Shout out to all of you. Yeah, so let's just say I got into a lot of trouble. I was kind of taking the wrong path in my life, kind of going down a bad road. And so my parents started finding some things out that I had done, and I got in a lot of trouble. A lot more things happened, but the greatest of these was the flip phone. Because if you know me, yeah, if you know me, you know I like my phone. So yeah, it was great to come in here and have my flip phone in the cubby. And of course the teacher had to point it out all this too. They're like, whose flip phone is this? But honestly, as much trouble as I got in, and as much as honestly it did break some relationships, but it was a time in my life where I kind of had to choose which path I wanted to take. I had kind of like a fork in the road, and if it weren't for my parents and my friends around me, and especially up there There's a picture with Audrey. She's my best friend. She's not here right now, but that's okay. She definitely helped me a lot to kind of choose which road to go down. So from that, I decided to focus a lot more on track. I took a lot of time to work on it. I started Hammer, fell in love with it, so fun. Hurts a lot, but that's okay. Definitely loved that. So I just started to focus on track more. And then my summer after my sophomore year, I got the chance to go to Ethiopia with Valor. It was a medical missions trip. It was the most difficult trip I've ever been on in my life, in every aspect, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. It was so difficult, so testing and challenging, but I would not have changed any part of it for the world. I mean, maybe the bathroom part, the toilet's hole in the ground, not my favorite. But definitely had changed my life forever because just the culture that we saw there, the experiences we had, truly made an impact on my life. So after sophomore year and after everything that had happened, I kind of came up with my life motto. It's actually a quote by Gandhi, and it says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." So, now to junior year, got my phone back, no. But no, during junior year was awesome. I mean, just the people that I was surrounded with was awesome. I started the legendary hydration specialists. Yes, that was all of us last year. Sorry, bittersweet, you guys. We didn't go that far, but that's okay. Still hurts, I know. But no, really, junior year was awesome. I mean, just the group of friends that I had, all of you guys back there, and especially like the Roses, Jewel, Jackson, Dakota, Alicia, Savannah, Avery, all of you guys. I cannot thank you enough for being my best friends and just helping me through my life during junior year. I'm so grateful to all of you. I'm not going to talk that much about it because I'm going to cry. Okay, moving on. Junior year is when track kind of became like real, so to say. It just kind of became something that I decided, you know what, I want to continue after this year and after my senior year and do it in college. So I really started to pour my whole life into track. I started working hard every day in practice. And then it was great because the end of the year, the girls track team, we won state, first ever girls track team to win it in Valor history. One of my favorite moments ever, just to experience that, because track is an individual sport, but when something like that happens, it feels like such a team effort. And so that was great. And then also with track, I got to start traveling. That was so fun. Got to go a lot of places, Oregon, New Mexico, North Carolina. It's been so fun to travel during track. So now, here we are in senior year. Yeah, so basically, senior year has been great. Had all my friends still here. Glad you didn't move to California. Well, you did, then you came back. But I met Sion, and then probably the biggest things from senior year have to be I committed to a college. I got to go on a lot of official visits, thankfully. I'm so blessed to have had all those opportunities. But I finally decided that where I felt like God was calling me was to go to Campbell. So I'm committed there on a scholarship for next year. And then the best part of this year has to be Tanzania, Africa with my dad. That's our team right there. That's some of his medical colleagues. I'm trying not to cry. This trip, I went on 2 mission trips. I totally forgot to talk about Nicaragua. That was my freshman year, but that was great. I'll talk about it later. Out of all the mission trips I've ever been on, that is by far my favorite trip. I got to be with my dad. I got to literally see him do the work of God onto people. Like, I got to see him take an arm that was webbed like this and see him extend it, and now that person has a mobile arm. And like, I don't know, like that just it changed my life in a lot of ways. I definitely think I grew closer to my dad, for sure. Yeah, I loved that trip. Yeah, okay. So this is my faith and my journey with Christ. I've been a Christian ever since I was little. Funny story how it started. I was about 4 years old, and me and my brother were just sitting at home one night, and he was just like, hey, like, you're gonna go to hell. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, there it is. Like, this little 4-year-old, he was like, I don't want to go. But honestly, it started the question for me to go talk about it to my mom. And a lot of people think that when you become a Christian from that little, that it's not real and it's not actually your own. But it's never been like that for me. I honestly think in some aspects I was stronger of a Christian at different points in my life, and I think definitely when I was younger was a time, because I just kind of had that wild faith and like just childlike faith where I had no doubt about God. So that was really important to me. I would describe my relationship with God as a roller coaster because it's not always perfect. I have a lot of times where I'm on like a Jesus high, like I can't get enough of God. I'm just pursuing him every day. Everything feels strong, but at the same time, there's a lot of times where, you know, I'm angry at him or I'm questioning and I'm doubting. But honestly, I think that's what makes my faith authentic, and I think that's what makes it real. So I've definitely felt like my faith has been mission-oriented. I feel a call to missions. I feel a call to compassion in that aspect. So I definitely will be continuing missions work throughout my life. Okay. Here goes. Thank you. So first of all, I want to start off by obviously thanking God. Without him, my life would not be existent, and it wouldn't be where I am today. He has blessed me in ways I can't even describe to all of you, but I'm so thankful for him. And then Coach, okay. Coach, thank you for starting me on throwing, because if it weren't for you sitting down with my family my freshman year and saying, look, you can do this, you have potential, like if you work at this and you commit, you're gonna go places. And now look where I am. Like, if it weren't for you doing that, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thank you for teaching me way more than throwing. Thank you for listening to my endless rants about stuff you probably don't care to hear about, but I tell you anyway. Thank you for, sorry, Sion, but reminding me that boys are stupid. Yes, and phrase too. Thank you for your constant sayings, your movie references, your jokes, and especially your sarcasm, because you know no one gets your sarcasm like I do. But most of all, thank you for never giving up on me. I've had a lot of downs along with the ups in track, and if it weren't for you always saying that I can do this, and that if I continue to push, I'm gonna get somewhere, because without that, I don't think I would have continued. So, thank you. G-Bow! Alright, Grace, I have known you since 7th grade. You've been one of my very best friends. So Grace wrote me a little note my freshman year. She hid it in my room and hoped that I wouldn't find it until my senior year. I found it like 2 weeks later, but I kept it. And let me just read you like a few snippets. I hope we have nice, smart, funny, good-looking, respectable boyfriends. Let's see. Here's another one. Okay, so you said, I hope we are still friends. I hope we are best friends. I hope we didn't fall apart, and I hope we still talk. Either way, call me. Let me know that you got this. Tell me what I wrote. I'm not going to read it all because it gets really funny. And then she said, if we aren't, let's catch up on life. And so I'm so glad that we still are and that you're still here today. That was my surprise for you. She didn't know I had that. Okay, moving on, because I know I'm like running out of time. I talk too much. Okay, Cyan. I'm convinced that if I didn't go bowling with him in Las Vegas, he probably wouldn't have paid attention to me. So thanks, Jack, for asking if we want to go bowling. Yes, we do. But, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the amount of time that I've known you for such a little amount of time. You've impacted my life in a way that I can't even ever ask for or imagined. Thank you for loving me, caring for me, supporting me and encouraging me in a way that no one else has ever done. Thank you, and as you always emphasize, for feeding me and making fun of me constantly. Thank you for handling my craziness, even though you have like a terrified look on your face at most of the stuff I do. Still makes me laugh, so that's fun. But most importantly, thank you for not only helping our relationship grow together, but our relationship with God. Because seeing you and seeing the way that you've grown in your relationship with God has inspired me to grow in my relationship with Him. Audrey is not here right now, but I'll still mention her and I'll tell her more later because I feel like it's kind of impersonal if she's not here. But basically, she is my very best friend. My life would not be the same without her. She's made me laugh and cry more than anyone ever has in my entire life. She's been there through every up and down I've had. She understands me in a way that no one else does. I don't know how I'm gonna go through college without her. It's gonna suck, but we're gonna figure it out because I can't not see her. And then my brother and sister aren't here either. But I want to thank them for putting me in a dog cage when I was little and feeding me dog treats. I was told there were cookies. I didn't know, okay? But honestly, they taught me, I think without that kind of like toughness and like wrestling and like bruises, I would have been too much of a prissy now. And so I think they honestly made me tougher. And they really did teach me how to be my own person and not follow what everyone else is doing. So thank you. Okay. Last two, my mom and my dad. Dad, I'm going to miss you so much next year. You are the smartest, most hardworking person I've ever met in my life. I wish I was as smart as you, but Justin got those genes. Thank you for supporting me in every way I could possibly imagine. Thank you for letting me rant to you about track after every track meet while I just sit there and cry, and you assured me and you encouraged me that I can put anything I put my mind to, just like that song you used to sing me when I was little. And of course, thank you for all the jokes, about the toes. You guys haven't seen my toes, but they were small. And thank you for all our play fights. I'll be calling you a lot because I'm gonna miss you. And then Mom, you're my best friend. I'll never truly be able to explain how thankful I am for you. Thank you for showing me how to be a woman of God, an amazing wife, and an even more perfect mother. Thank you for your support, your long talks, my rants. You just talk to me whenever I need it, and you support me like no one else. Thank you for making me breakfast every morning, and smoothie or coffee, and thanks for helping me pick out each and every dress for every single one of our dances. Thanks for watching Netflix crime shows with me. Honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna do without you next year, because you are the most important person in my life, and I'm gonna be calling you a lot because I'm gonna miss you. Okay, I'm done.